In fact, it's People Station V-103. If you're just tuning in, Mr. Carl Thomas is in the studio, and we just heard that first hit from you. Just take me back to when
I did that. I recorded that in Electric Lady. If anybody, any New Yorkers out there, y'all know Electric Lady Studios on West 8th. But
Jimi Hendrix,
yeah,
used to live there.
Yeah,
What's his house?
So I was singing this record, man, and I'm telling you, I couldn't wait to get to the vamp. Just to, and I was kind of like, okay, what are you gonna say? You know what I mean? So I'm always, when I'm singing, I'm constantly having this inner monologue. You know what I mean, with myself. So
well, I know that you were the first R&B, the male R&B singer signed to Bad Boy solo, right?
That's right. Faith was the first female.
When we first heard this
first
record,
period, actually,
I remember thinking, wow, he's on Bad Boy. Like, it was just incredible, and the sound was so
right. Why were you surprised?
Because it wasn't because I didn't expect Bad Boy to come out with a solo R&B male to dominate the charts like that. I just did not expect it.
I think a lot of people were surprised because they were still learning about components to Puff Daddy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Components that they didn't know he had. So me being released on the label just kind of taught everybody a lot more about him, you know what I mean, as an executive and his love for music and all that.
You just can't get away from the album. In fact, let's get into Emotional. It's my jam. Just go on and drop the record because this is my jam. Carl knows this is my jam.
And why is it your jam?
Why
is it your jam?
I love this whole, all of your albums, but I just cannot get enough of Emotional, and it's something about it. Summer Rain.
It was cool. I was an angry young man writing and singing that album, and the coolest thing about Emotional is I found really pleasant ways to express how mad I was.
Okay, well, I'm gonna look for some mad in your voice. Watch V103.com to see Carl Thomas right now live. V103, People Station V103. Carl Thomas is in the studio. Emotional. You want to do it?
I'm gonna let you do it. It's true.
Carl Thomas in the studio.
Now that was I got lucky a couple of times on that album, and I call it luck because not a lot of singers out there that can really do one takers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I have this feature. It's like just booth confessionals. Anything that ever happened in the studio when you were working with the amazing producers you worked with that you remember going, wow, this song turned out this way, but you don't know what went behind it.
Nah, yeah, I was. I had a really interesting situation with one of the producers that just had an all-out brawl.
You had a brawl?
Had a brawl. Not me. I'm in the booth singing, and the engineer is looking at me as if nothing is going on behind him, as if bows and right crosses and left hooks ain't being thrown. And I just totally ignored it and just kept on singing. What
song was it, at least? Don't tell me.
I'm not going to tell you the song because if I tell you the song, you're going to know who it was.
Okay, all right. You tell me off the air. And, we'll get into another one because, I love... Okay. I talk about your songs. You said something that was pretty significant. A lot of people don't know. Watch V103.com. Carl Thomas is in the studio. Yeah. And you said a lot of people thought you were Caribbean?
Yeah. I put this record out. I put the record out. And the Caribbean, for some reason, just showed me an immense amount of support, and it seemed like each island claimed me for their own. Carl Thomas, he's Jamaican.
I love it.
Carl Thomas, he's from Grenada.
Whatever. You didn't help yourself with this one. Let's get into, this. Now, Carl, I like all of these songs, so it's hard to pick a favorite.
It's cool. Cool.
Let me get into Summer Rain because this is what a lot of women are requesting. In fact,
I recorded this on the streets of Ocho Rios, and I went down there with boxes and boxes and boxes of Nikes, and I just passed them out in the neighborhood. Yeah, I just passed them out in the neighborhood, and they treated me so wonderful. Like I could just walk up on somebody's porch while they were making fish stew and sit there and have a bowl of it.
Wow. While you recorded this song?
While I recorded. No, not while we recorded the video.
Oh, the video.
Yeah.
That's amazing inside information. I love that. I love to hear that. It's Summer Rain, V103. People Station, V103. Carl Thomas in the studio, and man, we were just talking about just all of the soundtrack. Bad Boy has been the soundtrack of our lives, though.
Yeah.
Like, we could measure where we were when that song came out.
Absolutely, where we were in life.
Yeah.
And, our friendship and us acting stupid.
Acting stupid.
Yeah. Me and Ramona have a history of acting silly.
Yes, we do. Like, for real. Like, I remember when the song first came out, I was like, oh, gotta play this. And he was just so silly. Like, just so silly. And life of the party.
Yeah, we got a history of just I can remember people in there looking at us like, what are they doing?
Just acting
what are they
crazy.
doing in
and
there?
I never drank. So, this is just authentically just, having fun. And, Bad Boy like represented like the industry when it was like really, really fun though, right?
Yeah. It was a really big thing for me to just be embraced the way that I did. Because a lot of artists sometimes, they're cool with you,
right.
but not in a really authentic, natural kind of way,
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, a little bit about Diddy and this is funny because a lot of people don't know this, but I know people who work for Bad Boy.
Yeah.
And if you were late to a board meeting, like you got locked out.
Yeah.
So he's kind of going to do this at the show,
yeah,
right? He's like, he doesn't start
That's
it.
the thing that people really don't understand about the reunion tour is that this is not a fashionably late event. This is not one of those events. It's important that y'all need to know that Puff is his own opening act, and there is no opening act. We just get it popping. There's so much music, there's so much history, there's so much lineage that we have to go through that we have to really, really make sure that we start on time every night.
Right.
Because we're performing in union buildings. Hello.
Yeah, so,
people.
They go over, he got to pay. Puff ain't paying.
Hello, people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But everybody being back together in this manner, none of us really lost touch with each other because we're still out there on the road, on the weekends performing together and what have you, or run across each other at an award show or somebody's barbecue or whatever, or something maybe Puff is having at his house or whatever, So none of us really lost touch with each other, but we haven't had the opportunity to kind of get back in this light with each other again. So
right.
this really makes it special for me. Back then, my son was a baby, and now it's Operation SATs and get him out of high school.
Right. That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's really cool that our kids know each other, and our kids, you know what I mean, can be introduced to each other, and and they kind of see what you're doing in a different light when they're at this stage of the game.
Well, I need a few things from you.
Yeah.
First of all, we got to tell everybody
Yeah.
how to follow you. And Yolanda says hi.
That's
and so
right.
does Trish.
Okay.
She is listening right now
Hey,
from
Yolanda.
her job. She says
How
she
you
is going to
doing?
be there dressed in all white, the Bad Boy fashion.
Just in all. What?
Yeah, even after
Okay.
Labor Day, she's gonna be in
Okay.
She's gonna be in white. That's what she said on Twitter. I'm just repeating what she said.
Nah, but that's totally okay. That's totally
That's cool.
okay. It's Bad Boy white.
Yeah, Bad Boy white.
It's
There
Bad
it
Boy
is.
white. That's a whole totally different type of white.
So how do I follow you?
You can follow me actually on my Instagram, Carl_Thomas, or Facebook, just Carl Thomas. You'll know it's me because I don't have pictures
You don't have pictures
of myself.
of yourself.
Yeah, I don't have pictures of myself.
You're so
Just on the. I mean, you gotta understand. Like on my Instagram, I think it's just kind of narcissistic in a lot of ways. Social media has been a great help to us, and it's helped us to learn the world in a whole different way. But in a lot of ways, it was a mistake because everybody doesn't deserve their own television station. Everybody doesn't deserve to go live from the bathroom.
Wow.
It's like, here I am on the toilet. I'm on the toilet and I'm going live right now.
Okay,
And
Carl.
now you got Snapchat. You got Snapchat out there, and you have 1 billion flowerhead women
Okay.
out there.
Flowerhead
The
women?
flowerheads.
Okay,
I call them the
can't.
flowerheads. They're a group, the flowerheads.
This conversation will continue a little later
Yes,
on.
it
But no,
will.
seriously, call. If you want to talk to Carl, you can call him. He's in the studio
That's
for a few
right.
more minutes. But of course, I got to open up the doors because Big Tigger's
Yeah.
coming through the doors. Trended topics, tickets, and more on the
Yeah.
way. But we will see you
That's
tomorrow
right.
night.
Oh, they
on
told me. They
stage.
also told me that you wanted to know something about Puff that people don't know.
Yeah, what is it?
I will tell you this, and this is funny.
Uh-oh.
What y'all don't know is that if there's a record that you're recording and you need to express it in a certain way. I don't care how much Puff can't sing. He is going to sing that entire song for you.
He's going to reference the whole record for you. The riffs too?
But check this out. He is definitely going to get his point across.
I hear it.
And you going to know what he means by the time it's done.
He's the CEO. That's why he's Puff.
You understand me?
I do understand. It is the People's Station. That's crazy. V103.